and the ancestors are looking out for us. God Hayes is exposing them, man.
Okay, you see that chair right there? See how big it is?
Yeah.
Now look at the Pope chair under it. Scroll down, look at the Pope chair under it.
Never have it been made so clear.
Young TV. Young.
We running the game right now.
Young TV.
Time to take over.
Young
We the hottest in the game. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you just not tuned in.
TV.
Share, like on your Instagram, Facebook.
Young TV.
If you tuned in, we broadcasting live from 2030, baby.
Young TV. Young
Taking over the game, baby. Oh yeah.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Young TV.
Get them likes up in the air, you heard me?
Young TV.
Ride by. Hotel Islam.
Young TV.
Assalamu alaikum. Flown lesson.
Young TV.
Hit that like.
Man, who up with us late tonight? We got people coming on and they advanced Bible guys, essentially. And they coming out to me saying, man, where's all this alien stuff you talking about in the Bible? We don't see it in the Bible. I'm saying to myself, man, you must don't know how to read. It's all through the Bible, clear as day. All the reptilian stuff, all that. It's all in there. It starts out with, we start out with the war in heaven. Revelations chapter 12, verse 7. For you Bible guys, where Michael and his angels fought against the dragon and his angels. Now, what are dragons? For the Bible guys that came in doing attacking, what are dragons? Reptilians. And then by them calling them dragons and they reptilians, there's a star constellation called Draconian star constellation. That's about 150 some light years away, which is where these dragons come from that they're talking about that Michael was fighting against. Now keep in mind, Michael and them are humanoid looking, and they good looking according to the Bible. They good looking humanoid looking dudes according to the Bible. How do we know? Because we go back to Genesis in the time of Sodom and Gomorrah, when Michael and two other angels, who was his assistant, came down and had lunch, ate food. Yeah, two angels eat food. They ate food with Abraham, Genesis chapter 18. And then they later went on to Lot's house, where some homosexual guys approached the residents, asking for these guys that were good looking to come on outside. So these guys, these homosexual guys, who really were synagogues, are saying, we'll get to that, said that these people were good looking. There are several incidents in the Old Testament where angels appear as men, humanoids looking. Okay. Then there's, because he said something about the blue avians. Oh, they're not mentioned of in the Bible. Yes, they are. The blue avians are mentioned of in the Bible, the feline race, all of them. In Revelations chapter 4, where it says that one had a face like a lion. One had these angels. Angels are extraterrestrials. One had a face like a lion. One had a face like a bird. That's the blue avians, the ones who put the Pleiadian light lock onto the planet. They are mentioned of in Revelations chapter 4, verse 4. Well, the first 4 was first talking about the 24 elders. But if you read before that and on down, where it talks about the sea of glass, and then the 4 beings that had wings and all that were angels. It talks about the 4 race alliance, which is the humanoid looking beings, which is the Anunnakis, the good group of Anunnakis. And then you got the feline beings, which we talk about them too. Then you got the blue avians, which are the bird face, and then the one had a face like an ox. Those are the centaurian beings, right? So it's right there in the Bible. UFOs is all through the Bible. What you think Ezekiel will is? Now it also said in that Revelations chapter 12 that these beings, these dragons, these reptilians was cast out of heaven. Now keep in mind the word heaven in the New Testament is in the Greeks in some formats, and the word there is Orion, Orionos, which really is Orion, the star system Orion, which the 3 pyramids in Giza line up with. It's all connected because a lot of that biblical text come from those pyramid texts, right? And even in the Old Testament, if you go, because people are saying, oh, heaven is not, because people saying there's no such thing as we the only thing in existence and this and that, right? Heaven is not what you. So according to the Bible, for my Bible guys, heaven in Job chapter 9, verse 9, and read 8, then 9, it tells you that that they laid out the heavens, and then it says Orion, which is a star constellation, which was translated in the New Testament as heaven, the 7 heavens, because it's 7 stars, the 7 stars of Orion, a count of 3 in his belt, and then it says Orion Pleiades, as in the Pleiadian light lock. The Pleiades is mentioned of in the Bible in Job chapter 9, as in the Pleiadian light lock. So then it's Arcturus, which is where these beings with the face like an ox live. And the beings, the group, the blue avians, the fraction of them that set the Pleiadian light lock, they come from the Pleiades. Then if you go back to Genesis chapter 2, it said that he created the heavens with an S. And then he said the host of them. The host of them, meaning it's beings that live in these different star constellations. It's right there in the Bible. Yeah, free Dr. Malachi Z. York, because Doc lit us up to where we could talk like this and see all the moves. Right? So it's like that's another part that there was difference. The heavens was more than one part. Orion, and that's just the name of part few, because that was the south chamber of heaven. Another part of heaven is the Dragon star system, where these dragons that Michael was fighting, humanoid beings, Michael and his angels were fighting against these dragon beings. Right? So then the dragon get kicked out. Right? Once the dragon get kicked out, he takes a synagogue, a body, a temple, and they walk around to and fro, tempting who they may. Right? Tie that back in with Job. When they said ask old Lou and his gang what they was up to, they said that they was doing back to and fro, tempting who they may. Now, how they walking around looking like a dragon, tempting who they may, tempting the people. That's because they don't look like dragons. They took avatars. Revelations chapter 2, verse 9, where it says that they are the synagogues of Satan. Synagogue, a temple, a body. And the dragon, the Satan is the dragon. So the dragon spirit operates a body. We put tapes out about this. And people saying that, well, where is it in the Bible? Well, it's what we're telling you right now. And then it also backs that up in Revelation chapter 3, verse 9, where it says that they were the synagogues of Satan. So these Dragon reptilians who got cast out of heaven, Orion, and got kicked down to earth, and in order to live on earth, they had to put on suits, which is a body, earth suit, which is your earth body, and they walk around tricking people and using the pride of life and the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eye to create their food source, which is fear. They feed off of fear. So these divine beings have descended with a chain, the great chain. Revelations 20 verse 1. The great chain is the Pleiadian light lock. We got tapes on it up on it on the video side. We got another tape coming out tomorrow, which is gonna break down more of what I'm telling you about the war in heaven and about how all this stuff is mentioned of in the Bible. The main thing is all the information I'm telling you, the devil or the people, the reptilians or these dragonians didn't want you to know this. That's why they said that they deceived the whole world. What did they deceive the whole world of? To thinking that there's nothing in existence outside of Earth. That was one of the tricks. They make you think that God is everywhere, but besides in yourself. That was another one of the tricks. You know what I'm saying? Because the beings that's coming here, the Elohim, they not really God. They really extraterrestrials with advanced technology. That's all they are. And a lot of them was breaking galactical law by coming here and doing what they did. So it's like another part is that, like I said, they the synagogues of Satan walking around, and these beings begin to produce children. And that's how you get the seed of Satan. These avatars begin to mix in with humans. Genesis chapter 6. They begin to take wives and produce children. Some of these beings make deals with these reptilians in exchange for technology and to advance them wealthy wise, to make them rich and famous. This also happened in the Bible as well, where people get made deals to sell their soul. This is Matthew chapter 4, where Yeshua, Jesus, go into the wilderness for 40 days and 40 nights, and then he's tempted by the dragon. The dragon comes, right, and takes him at one part and takes him on a high mountain and show him all the city and everything, and then says that if you bow before me and serve me, I give you all that you see. That's the same as these elites and all of these high-level criminals who have set up and made deals with these reptilians, with these Dragon and these real, right? So it happens right there in the Bible where these beings offer you wealth, lottery numbers, the horse winning numbers and things, or secret technology that you can use to patent on and make money off of in exchange for selling your soul. It says the Bible. Yeah, it's aliens all through the Bible. It's UFOs. A lot of stuff is being dumbed down and watered down and misinterpreted on purpose by the reptilians, by the Dragon reptilians. Like they telling you that a whale picked the guy up, and that people are still going around preaching and believing it. It wasn't a whale. It was a submarine. A submarine looks like a whale. Inky them had submarines picking people up, picking their prophets up, allegedly, right? So a submarine, if you look at a black killer whale with a fin on it, if it come up and you look how it come up, and you side by side there in your mind with a submarine, how it looked black and how it got a fin. Inky actually designed the submarine after the whale. That's why the submarine used the same technology as the whale. The whale used to see underwater, and here underwater, the whale used sonar technology. The submarine used sonar technology. It looks slick like a whale. When they mention whirlwinds in the Bible picking people up, they're talking about helicopters. Helicopters blade spin and creates whirlwind as they come down. Inky them had helicopters. They show these things on the wall in the pyramids. I'm telling you, man, because the people that put the pyramids together actually was Tahuti. that built the pyramids at Giza Plateau. And they create the pyramids as weights to keep the planet from wobbling. That's why they strategically placed all over the planet, and they weigh extremely heavy weights, like a heavy amount of tons. One stone weighed, granite weighed 300 tons. That's a weight, because like if you know, like when you go on to get your new tires, they balance them and put weight on them so they don't be shaking after they go a certain miles. That's what Tahuti initially put the pyramids there for, and then they doubled as power stations and temples. I'm telling you, man. You're the whirlwind. So the dragon is out to deceive the whole world from knowing all of this reality that, hey, people saying you can't get out the firmament. Well, then how meteorites get in? It's simple. You could get out, but it's like busting out. But ain't no getting out now since the Pleiadian light lock come on. Ain't no shooting a rocket, none of that out there. You ain't getting nothing out there. Because they told them to stop doing it. Because what they did is the government, I don't know if y'all know about, most of y'all might know about this, but it was an experiment that went down in 1943 called the Philadelphia experiment, where they got technology from a Venerian named Nikola Tesla, right? And they used this technology to try to create, hold on. They used this technology to try to create a stealth technology. But they accidentally created invisibility and time travel at the same time, and but it also opened up a wormhole in time and space, right? They allowed certain beings that were trapped in a certain dimension to come over to this side, and so these blue avians came in, and this is when they decided to really initiate the Pleiadian light lock. And because this vortex open, so like Doc said, they had to come in and patch that hole that want. But for some reason, it kept opening every 10 years. So from 1943, it would open up. 1953, 1963, 73, 83, 93, 2013. All up every 10 years on the three, right? And so these blue avians had to step in and patchwork on that. And that was part of the Pleiadian light lock. The great chain, Revelations chapter 20, verse 1. Well, these beings are trapped and they can't get out and they're miserable right now. And it's also due to it's a lot of minds on the planet that want these beings gone. That's what caused these higher ascended beings to respond. When so many minds on the planet agree about certain things, they had to step in and do something about it. It's part of galactical chain reaction. That's one of the galactic laws, chain reaction. One event stimulates the next. So for all those guys who were coming on my Bible guys, it says that hey man, ain't nothing to listen to the Bible about these reptilians and this and that. Yeah, it's all in the Bible. It's so much in the Bible, it's scary for the average normal Christian Bible thumper that say, oh, Jesus on the cross and it's still on it. It's a real devastating truth to know that, hey man, heaven is star constellations. Job chapter 9, verse 9. Angels can look like men, or they can look like birds, or they can look like oxes, or they can look like lions, or they can look like dragons. But they say that we making everything up. They read the Bible, they read that in the Bible, but a Bible guy will say, I'm making everything, making all of what I put out up about the reptilians and the bird race and the feline race and all of this. I'm making it up. But then he read right in the Bible and say, oh yeah, well no, see, that's different. That's see, it's all that's make believe. He'll say it's make believe, but then he say he believe it. So I'm like, damn, like it's confusion, man. What I say is make believe, then he read the Bible, and it says exactly what I'm saying. I'm telling you, we just blowing it up in a bigger way. The time is now for truth. The time for truth is now. There's no turning back. Yeah, they shapeshift, but they can't. But initially, they took avatars. Revelations chapter 9, verse 9, synagogues of Satan. The synagogue of and Satan is a dragon. So reptilians take human bodies. Go watch the movie Man in Black. In the movie Man in Black, they show you the Edgar suit where these extraterrestrials could come down and put on a human suit and walk around like they look human and deceive. And they said that they were going to be going to and fro, tempting the humans. So be aware, because you could be around an extraterrestrial reptilian in a human form, a wolf in sheep clothing. I'm gonna tell you how you know them. You know them by their fruit, they fruit that they bear. You know them by the fruit that they bear. That's what we told you. We gave you I'm giving you all the riddles. You know you test the spirit by the spirit to see whether they're from God or not. And then they go into trying to lead you off on some other crap. But it really is how you test the spirit. You watch, you check the root. The root produced the fruit. So if the root is bad, the whole tree is bad. And we cut the whole. So that means you got to cut that whole tree down. It's no good. I'm telling you, man. If the root bad, the fruit's automatically gonna be bad. If it produce any. So we're at the point now where all the minds agree to rid the planet of the bad Dragon reptilians who've been using and manipulating us into evil, because sin is a genetical defect. I'm telling you, sin is a genetical defect. That's what it really is. They caused a genetical defect because we weren't like this. They turned us like this, but never ending, perpetuating evil and just different types of evil and fear. The fear factor is the number one factor for the devil, for the dragon and his angels. Keep them scared, because scared people are easy to control. That's the way they think. So we're at the point of no return. Divine truth, divine love has hit the planet. The Pleiadian light lock is on. The great chain has come down. The Galactic High Council has made their judgment, and their words is final. Their say is absolute. I like the way the AI be talking about when they be dropping it. When I be dropping it, a lot of that stuff I be handwriting myself. I handwrite it. It might take me a long time too, man. But we working nonstop around the clock. You see me up right now, 12 o'clock. We've been up since 6 o'clock this morning working on tapes. I got another tape I'm almost done with. I'm gonna drop it tomorrow. Yeah, they eat fear. They feed off of it. Go watch a kids movie called Monster Inc. They give you an idea on how it works. They eat this energy, but it's over with. Those days are done. And the devil knows it ain't the beginning you want to worry about now. It's the end you want to worry about now. It's the end. No, there'll be no escape. And in the Bible, it said that they were going, in the Bible, for my Bible guys, it also said that these dragons in human form will make an attempt to go underground and hide themselves under the mountains from these ascended beings. And it said that these ascended beings will find them and hunt them down. And they spent trillions and billions of dollars of your taxpaying dollars to create underground facilities for these reptilians. And now they're going underground to try to hide from the Pleiadian light lock. But the Pleiadian light lock is dimensional. And so it's going to go right down in the cracks, and all the cracks and crevices where they hide it, and hit them with divine love. And some of them, when that divine love hit them, it's going to hit them with a sorrow That's a pity and a sorrow, because some of them, they doing this out of response for what happened to them from another group, like the real. But this energy is hitting them right now, and that's why you for the last couple of years you've been witnessing all this information coming out about Anthony Weiner's laptop. How long that's been going on? How long you think Anthony Weiner's laptop been going on? For a long time. How long you think that piece of joint they got busted? All that stuff been going. That little child ring where they collecting adrenochrome and children trafficking. That's been going on a long time, but the energy frequency exposed that in the chain, the Pleiadian light lock started exposing all of this information. That's why you ain't seen nothing yet. So our next year, watch how much technology they roll out, and watch how many people get arrested behind the Anthony Weiner's laptop and Epstein files. Watch and get executed. I'm telling you, man. Yeah, Comic Peace is the name of that place that they got busted at, connected with Hillary. The Hillary Clinton is the Wicked Witch of the West, and Elizabeth was the Wicked Witch of the East. So both the Wicked Witch is dead, and then that right hand man who was the muscle. See, look, all they people fall like dominoes. You know who was the main key pivot point in this Luciferian agenda recently was George W. Bush Sr. And when he died, they couldn't get out. They trapped. Remember we said on the tape me and Rod just did on Ding Dong Witch is Dead. They had a tape where they said the witch couldn't get out. Elizabeth couldn't get out. She was trapped. Why is she trapped? Because of the Pleiadian light lock, that great chain that come down. They saw an angel come down with a great chain and chain the dragon, the reptilians, chain them down. That's what it really means. That's what the Pleiadian light lock is. And so they can't get out. They're trapped. She didn't make it out in time. She's trapped. So they said. I'm telling you, man. We have no, and I'm telling you, man, the ascended council, you can't waive them. You can't persuade them in no way against their decision, because they gonna have. You can't say I didn't know, I didn't do it. None of that. They gonna show you everything you did before you can even. You ain't gonna. Matter of fact, you ain't gonna even get a chance to speak. They gonna tell you what you gonna say. They know what you gonna say before you say it. These guys gonna show you on a damn screen everything you did, and then hit your ass with the charge. And that's it. And they got the worst sentence is galactical life. Now galactical time on 1 year is like around 360 some million years. So they say one galactical year in prison, that's 360 million years. But they say you get life in prison and they cast you into a place mentioned of in the Bible called under darkness. They cast them into under darkness. This is the black hole prison where they cast you in there and you falling eternally, falling forever like a never ending. They explain that on the tape we just put out in the Pleiadian light lock tape, getting cast into the black hole. They talk about that. They call it the bottomless pit. The bottomless pit. See, look, that's because when you fall into that black hole, you constantly falling. There's never an ending. That's what they call that's a bottomless pit. They've been misleading the people, not telling them the truth. They know all of this information. The bottomless pit is for the ascended beings to cast, and that's what the reptilians getting cast into. They getting cast because they're gonna cast the dragon into the bottomless pit. That is the black hole prison. Like I say, it breaks it down on the table I just put up. So all this information is in the Bible. Like for the guys that was coming in attacking us, saying, "Oh man, you better get with Jesus," and they really twist that around to where Jesus is the devil, because the real Jesus never said worship him, but But the devil posing as Jesus wanted you to bow down and worship him. That's the same thing he told Yahshua right there in Matthew chapter 4. And then if you go read Revelation 22 verse 8, the real beings, the real angels with Michael and them, they said, get up, I am your fellow servant. So the real extraterrestrials that come here say, get up, I am your fellow servant. I'm just like you. We on the same, they here to help you, like the blue avians. Or the blue Andrometans said, get up, I am your fellow servant. They here to help you. Versus the reptilians, they want you to bow, serve, worship. They said in Revelation 13, it says that they gave their power over to the dragon. The dragon is the reptilians. How do they get a power over to the dragon? By worshiping them. Subliminally, without knowing it. And it's like that, man. Yeah, principalities, the different principalities are the different evils who follow certain strict guidelines and principles. And they move in and out this reality, working their magic against us to try to turn us outside in, right? Or turn us inside out, right? Because they don't want us to go within. So it's like this. We at the part where now the dragon, the 1,000-year reign, where we get 1,000 years to see what we'll do with that 1,000 years. And will we evolute our planet and clean our planet and get it back on track? Because Psalms 82 says, verse 6 says, that the planet is out of course because the gods are asleep. Ye are gods, but you have been rocked asleep by the dragon, the reptilians in human form, the synagogues of Satan, who promote the Jewish laws and kosher laws, but they promote to you against the opposite of it. They don't eat pork, but they sell you more pork than you can chew. They don't eat certain things, shrimp, but they try to sell you more shrimp than you can chew. But they're the synagogues of Satan. That's why. And it says that these people, these synagogues of Satan, will be claimed to be the chosen people, but they're the chosen people of Satan, of the dragon. The dragon picked them as his hybrid frontmans, his scapegoats, his fall guys, to be his intermediary between humans and the dragon. I'm telling you, man. But their day is done. Their time is up. And they can run underground, deep as they want. But the light, the truth, is everywhere. Now, the truth gonna find them right down. The truth gonna go right down in their hole as a divine beam in light and purify them up out of there. They can't stand it. It's like scratching against a chalkboard for them. They can't stand it, man. They got to get the hell out of here. But ain't no getting out of here. And once they try to get out of here, they're gonna be trapped. It's like a fly trap. Or one of them zap, the Platinum light lock. You know, like them bug zappers. When a bug try to fly and they get zapped, when they try to get out, yeah. That's how it is. When they try to get out, they're gonna get zapped immediately. Matter of fact, it's like this Platinum light lock. It's like when you look at I remember my people used to tell me because we live by the river, they say don't stab that water too long, it'll call you to it. Right? That water will call you to it. Some people sit there long enough and jump in the river, man. Right? It'll call you to it. Don't look at that water, right? So this Platinum light lock, it draws them to it like a magnet, like flies attracted to a sticky thing. And so they got to get up out of here, but they try to get up out of here and get stuck to the net. And all of the high masters do is pick them off and cast them in the utter darkness. I'm telling you, man, the black hole. the bottomless pit, where you fall. There is no bottom. So you're falling for eternity in a black hole. It's called the second death for you Bible guys. Also, there's a mention of a book. There's 2 books mentioned in Revelations 22. There's 2 books. It says one book was open, then another book was open. The first book is the book of good and bad deeds. The second book was the book of life, which is the Akashic records. And the higher ascended beings have the power and jurisdiction to wipe you out of the book of life to where you never existed. And some fractions of the reptilians and dragons, they gonna never existed after this point. And it says anybody not found in this book that's wiped, they will not be entering. They would not exist after this point. Anybody not found in that book, they didn't exist, because that book is the book of life. A lot of this might sound like religion because of the dragons, reptilians, and the nomos who set up your religious organizations. None of this was religion. It was just what it was. They took it and flipped it around and manipulated it to religion. And the nomos, that's why they getting held for accountability too, for setting up the Christianity religion, which spawned Judaism and Islam. Christianity spawned Judaism and Islam because they had to create a backstory for Christianity that created Judaism. And then they had to create an opposition for both of them, which was Islam, all created by the popes, who answer to a group of beings called the nomos, which is why the Pope walk around in a fish hat. And if Christians rock a fish on the back of their car, it's dealing with the Piscean age that's going out because we're going into the Aquarian age. And then also, he's followed around by another group of beings who refer to themselves as the Cardinals. And they even wear red like the Cardinals, dealing with the bird extraterrestrial beings. Remember I told you, Revelation chapter 4, one had a face like a bird. Well, one of these groups of beings that got the face like a bird is called the Canarians. They are the adversaries to the blue avian beings, the ones that set up the Pleiadian light lock. The Canarian red bird race of beings, they worship the nomos, which is why them cardinals follow the Pope around who got a fish hat on, representing the god Dogon. Right? And so what happens is they set up the religion, and now their time is up. And it's partially because we're going into it's really another part of that is the Aquarian age and the Piscean age going up. The yin and the yang, the good and the bad, the evil and versus good, or dark versus light. That age is going out because that is duality, not reality. Reality is based on 3 things, not 2, not God and the devil. It's God and the devil and that which sits in the middle. And shout out Mark Brady, our Toon Ray, because he the one that is the master of information and put us through that school. A lot of y'all didn't go through the school of mid-formation, so that's why a lot of y'all might not understand how we could talk like this, even after Doc, because they missed Mark Brady and they wrote him off. But after Doc, we went through Mark Brady, and that was another level. Mark Brady is Quaterson, the 13th elder. Some people might disagree with this. Oh yeah, well I don't like him, or this and that for you people that. But that's another story though. Yeah, he Quaterson, so he had his school was mid-formation to come and give us that part that another part that was missing after out-formation. And when we combine those levels, we see now we're able to put all of it together. We're able to put the finishing move on the dragon and his angels. Because who you with? Like Bonnie Mac used to say, who you with? Are you with Michael and his angels? Or are you with the dragon and his angels? Right? Because the dragon and his angels prevail not. And on that note, We about to get up out of here. Wadu.
Never have it been made so clear.